Hi, my name is Amritanshu Agarwal and my Unity ID is AAGRAWA8. Today in this video I am going to talk about our milestone tree in which we need to deploy checkbox.io, have a upgraded infrastructure and also provide can-view release using Redis server and proxy server. This particular setup is done using multiple AWS servers. For that, these are the uh, requirements you need to have, and to follow this step you will find all the steps mentioned in this readme file. Now let's look at the demo. So first of all, we'll try to provision uh, three servers. It will beforehand that this will install all the local environments needed to set up on a local machine like Node, npm and Ansible. Once it's done, it will now install AWS SDK, and as you see right now, none of the servers is um, running, so these three are getting initialized. So you will see that these three servers will get up. uh, in the meanwhile, these three servers, uh, among these three servers, one is acting as a master node and two as client node. By the master node, we are calling it as the production, as the developer environment server, where all the global Redis server, proxy server, the code is actually running, and the two clients server is nothing but just the production servers. For the first infrastructure upgrade, these two servers will act as the production servers, which where load balancing will happen automatically depending on which IP it goes to. On the other hand, while later in the video will show that among these two, one will act as production server and one will act as canary server. Uh, let's now go to let's try to get ready the master by using automatic configuration management system like Ansible. So we'll go to Ansible directory, and there we will use this command. So Ansible playbook with environment variable set as host key checking equals to false, playbook.yaml and inventory. In this YAML file, you will find multiple things happening, like basic packages will be installed, uh, Jenkins, configuring Jenkins will happen, restart, some basic files will be added, which keeps track of which IPs are what, like master and client server IPs. Then for this particular checkbox.i application to run, we need daemon processes like MongoDB service and Redis service. So those are the important services and files which are provided in our directory itself, in the Ansible directory. Uh, this is the inside our repository. You will find an Ansible in the inside checkbox directory. There's an Ansible directory, and in that Ansible directory you will find various files needed. Config._build is nothing but the uh, to trigger our deployment when any push happens to our code, and it will trigger on the Jenkins, and it will deploy our updated code to the two production servers. Config exit nothing but like if you want to stop your application on the production environments. And these are some basic uh, files which we have made to make this work automatically and smoothly, like MongoDB server and Redis service and servers.json. Now, this particular step will take some time to complete. We will wait in the meanwhile. You are seeing that um, some of the steps has been completed. In the meanwhile, we will take a look at whether the servers has been properly running. So if you see, these three servers are running properly right now. If we try to access this server on a local browser with Jenkins, um, depending on this thing, it should be running. So right now if you see, there is no job posted to it. Once these steps will be completed, you will see that there will be jobs running on to it. In the meanwhile, we'll set up our other tabs for this demo. So I will log into our master node. Similarly here as well. And so we are ready with 3 tabs. These scripts are inside the checkbox.io, which needs your development environment IP addresses so that it can communicate with our single shared MongoDB server, which is residing on your development environment. And the global Redis server is also residing on the master node itself. You will see that Redis will server will be installed on the other two local Redis server will be installed on the other two machines as well when the job is triggered. So you see that these steps have been completed and both the configurations on the Jenkins are ready and up. We'll take a look at that in a second. So if you see right now, um, both the jobs, both the Jenkins jobs are not running and it's not triggered. So let's go to our master node and let's go to checkbox.io, which is our GitHub repository. Let's make some changes into this. Still, the jobs are not running, but we'll soon see that this have been made changes, and we will do the so the changes are made, and if you see, the server is running now. Let's look at its output. This particular one will make sure that all these steps will be completed, like dependency packages and everything. It will take some time to get it completed. So you will see that now node server.js is running. Now let's take a look at whether we can access the checkbox.io application on these nodes. So if you see, we are able to access the checkbox.io on this particular server. Let's look at the second production environment. Yes, we are able to successfully access these two deployments. It will keep on running since I have waited for these two applications to complete. Uh, Now let's look at whether it's running on my development environment. If we go to uh, the developer environment to see whether it's running or not. So this is successfully running. Now the next step is to provide an infrastructure upgrade and Canary release. For infrastructure upgrade, we need load balancing so that as requests come to the servers, it can it can, based on the services, it will automatically alternatively change to two production servers, one production server and the second server. Right now it's set to that. The Redis feature flag server is, for that we have provided one another route in our checkbox.io application called as hidden feature, and the feature flag needs to be set to true in the Redis CLI command line interface environment, so that that feature will be available. If it is set to false, it will not be available, and this all needs to happen through proxy server. For proxy server, we will it's available in the checkbox.io server side site option. We will run proxy.js. So this proxy server is listening at 3000 port. Now let's go to the 3000 port and see whether requests are alternative between um, different IPs. So if you see, I clicked 3000 and it redirected to each and every request is alternative between two IPs. If you are seeing so many routes, and that's because in our checkbox.io server code, we have something called as we have multiple routes available. Let me take you to that. So server.js is running, and if you see, you have multiple routes available to it, which are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. So most of them are getting uh, picked up. So 2 to 3 to 6 to 8 to 10 to 12 to 14. So 14 number of, sorry, I think it's 15, and here it's also 15. So 15 of them are available in server.js, and same 15 are available here. Now let's go to the Redis CLI environment to see, we have been logged into command line interface to see how many keys are set. So we are seeing proxy servers are keep track of, it's a single queue which keep tracks of all the production queues. For the next part, we'll show that we'll convert that among that proxy server, we'll point out one server to the production environment and one server to the canary, so that the traffic can be distributed about 33% to canary and 66% of times to production environment. So let's set feature feature flag to true. So this will, right now, if we go to the hidden feature, so right now it's set to nothing. So let's set this feature flag to true. So it's saying okay. Now if we go to, it's showing you can use this new feature, so that means this new feature is available again. If we again set this feature flag to false and reload it again, you will see that this new feature is not available, and here all that many proxy servers, proxy requests are going through. Now coming to the third part, which is canary release. For that we have provided a script called node canary.js. So this particular proxy server is listening at 3001 port. So what will happen is, if we go to our 3001 slash hidden feature one, you will see that first it redirected to canary, and then second one it's redirected to production. Let's hit again. So second to, so third time it went to production, and first, so every time whenever we hit, it will keep on alternating, and it will go two times to production and one time to canary. The third one was like, if we provide red as canary alert as uh, false. Canary alert true. So if canary alert is set to um, canary alert is set to true, then that means it will not go to canary alert anymore. It will only go to the all the three requests will go to the production environment. So every time it's only going to the production environment. If we set canary alert to false, it will come back to the original one, and uh, it will go it will go to two times to production server and one time to the canary one. So if you see, yes. So now for to stop our this production servers, we I have provided another project which is called as close node one. So we'll build this one, and you will see that this particular one will be successfully done. So this is successfully done. So if you now go to this one, you won't be able to access our application anymore. And on this, and similarly, this particular one would be exited successfully, since we have closed the connection between the development and production environment. I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Thank you.